Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Man United have spoken with Erik Ten Hag about summer transfer targets. Erik Ten Hag will target Harry Kane, Declan Rice and Ruben Neves if he gets appointed as Man United's next manager. Erik Ten Hag to Man United, hoped to be announced towards the end of next week. Reports said yesterday that Manchester United are close to appointing Erik Ten Hag as the new permanent manager. Erik Ten Hag has a release clause of 1.7 million. Couple of weeks ago, he got interviewed for the Man United job. And Erik Ten Hag told Man United chiefs he needs 5 years to overhaul the club. Ralf Rangnick wants Erik Ten Hag to become the next Man United manager. Not so long ago, Rangnick spoke very highly of Erik Ten Hag with the Man United board, and a lot of Manchester United fans would like to see him get recommended in. It'd be good for him to come and experience the Premier League because he's not yet managed in the Premier League. You've got to admire the work he's done at Ajax. You know, at Ajax he's developed the young players well. He's won some Dutch Cups with them. He's won a couple of Eredivisie titles. And revert back to 2019, he got Ajax to the Champions League semi-finals. He got appointed in as the Ajax manager back in December 2017, so he's been the Ajax manager for over 4 years. His contract at Ajax expires next year. Before Ajax, he managed Utrecht, before then managed Bayern Munich's reserves, and before then managed Go Ahead Eagles. There's still a lot of rumours coming out about Mauricio Pochettino. Recently, Wayne Rooney told Manchester United to go and get Mauricio Pochettino. The other week it said Pochettino sees himself at PSG for a long time. Pochettino is under pressure at PSG, but despite that, it's already mentioned that he wants to stay at PSG. PSG may have to pay around 17 million if they decide to sack him. Don't forget, the vast majority of Manchester United players want Pochettino. You know, Pochettino is a good manager, even though he's hardly won anything. He's proven in the Premier League, which is beneficial. You know, Manchester United are looking for the 5th permanent manager since Ferguson retired. You know, Man United have sacked 4 permanent managers since Ferguson. We sacked David Moyes, Louis van Gaal, Jose Mourinho, and last year Manchester United sacked Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Rangnick, it said he will work for just 6 days a month when he begins the consultancy role. It said yesterday, like I updated you, that Austrian FA denied making an approach for Ralph Rangnick, because it did say that the sporting director Peter Schottel flew to Manchester and he held talks with Rangnick. Rangnick has been Manchester United's interim manager for over 3 months. It initially said he's Manchester United's interim manager until the end of the season, then he is expected to take up a consultancy role for a further 2 years. Rangnick has lost 4 games in all competitions as Man United's interim manager. He's mentioned a few times that he wants the permanent Man United job. To Rangnick's credit, he has made changes since he's come in, because earlier on this season he recommended Ewan Sharping as an assistant coach and analyst. He also recommended Chris Armisen as an assistant coach, and he recommended Sascha Lenzin as a sports psychologist. He has endured 1 transfer window as Man United's interim manager, and unfortunately didn't get backed in this year's January transfer window. Before Man United, he was the head of sports and development at Lokomotiv Moscow. Earlier on this season, Rangnick said that his aim for this season is for Man United to finish in the top 4. Well, Man United's focus is obviously finishing in the top 4, because Man United can't win a trophy this season. We haven't won a trophy for 5 years. That's nowhere near good enough to our standards. None of this squad is Rangnick's. He is inheriting players who other managers have brought in. In the last 10 years, Manchester United have only won 4 trophies. We haven't won the Premier League since 2013. And in the last 10 years, Man United have spent over 1.3 billion. And we've brought over 40 odd players in since Sir Alex Ferguson retired. The Glazers, we've got to get them out of the football club, because they've been one of the biggest problems at the club for a long time. The Glazers have owned Manchester United for around 17 years. They purchased the club for 500 million back in 2005. Revert back to quite a few weeks ago now, it said the Glazers were planning to demolish Old Trafford. I said, should the Glazers demolish Old Trafford? It said Man United were looking to upgrade the stadium. He says we was looking to increase the capacity to around 80,000. At the moment, Old Trafford holds around 75,000. It's the second biggest stadium in England. Man United have played at the same stadium for 112 years. And revert back towards the end of last season, don't forget, Man United fans protested against the Glazers outside the Carrington training ground on at Old Trafford, because the Glazers were planning to scrap the Champions League for that European Super League. But in the end, the Glazers ended up apologising. And earlier on this year, Ed Woodward stepped down. That was good news from a Man United perspective, because Woodward was one of the biggest issues at the club for a long time. He was accountable for how poor our recruitment policy was and that. Woodward was Man United's vice chairman for 17 years. Earlier on this year, Richard Arnold replaced Ed Woodward. Man United, I've got good players. On the other side of things, we've got inconsistent players as well. So we've got Edison Cavani. He's a good player. Cavani is out with injury at the moment. You know, Cavani had a groin injury not so long ago. He's had quite a few injuries since he came to the club. Cavani will leave Man United this summer. He's out of contract in the summer. We got Cavani on a free transfer from PSG back in the summer of 2020. The last time I read up, it said Cavani was close to agreeing a move to Real Sociedad. It said Cavani held talks with Real Sociedad. He's also being linked with a move to Brazil. Marcus Rashford. He's a good player overall, but Rashford has endured a lot of poor games this season. Rashford's not been the same player since he had that operation on his shoulder. He missed the first 2 months of this season with that shoulder problem. Earlier on this season had a minor leg injury. Rashford could leave Man United this year because he has been subjected to a lot of transfer speculation, and not so long ago sources close to Football Insider said that Marcus Rashford told his friends he wants to quit Man United. And earlier on this season, Fabrizio Romano said that Rashford was considering his future with Man United as he's concerned about his lack of playing time. He has been part of the club for a long time, came up our academy and that. He's been a United player since the age of 7 and he broke into our senior squad back in 2016. And since then he's gone on to make nearly 300 appearances in all competitions. Rashford's contract expires next year. Anthony Elanga, he's a very good young player. Anthony Elanga has been part of the club for a long time. You know, he came up our academy, he joined Man United's academy at the age of 12. He's now, 19, so he's still young. He's got a contract with Man United until 2026. There's an option of a further year. Earlier on this season, Elanga came off the bench and scored a late equaliser against Atletico Madrid in the Champions League last 16 first leg. And he scored in the 4-2 win against Leeds earlier on this season. Don't forget, earlier on this season, Elanga got racially abused on social media after he missed a decisive penalty against Middlesbrough in the Cup. I totally disagreed with him getting racially abused, and Rangnick said earlier on this season that Elanga was close to leaving Manchester United. Jadon Sancho, well, he hasn't done as well as a lot of United fans expected. You know, Sancho has had his good games though since he became Man United player. He's enjoyed poor games as well. You know, Sancho did enjoy a very bad start to his Manchester United career, but not every player settles in straight away. We couldn't get the best out of Sancho under Solskjaer, you know, because obviously Solskjaer persistently played him out of position. There was quite a few games Sancho didn't even play in under Solskjaer. Don't forget, the other week Sancho was dropped from the England squad. Sancho did endure 4 good years with Borussia Dortmund before he signed for Man United. Man United signed Jadon Sancho last summer from Dortmund, got him in a deal worth 78 million, with add-ons included. Man United paid 73 million up front. Sancho's under contract with the club until June 2026. There's an option of a further year. We got Bruno Fernandes. You know, Bruno Fernandes is one of our best players and he's certainly one of the best signings we've made since Ferguson retired. Now, not so long ago, Bruno Fernandes signed a new contract with Man United until June 2026. There's an option to extend for a further year. Bruno Fernandes' wages got doubled. He now receives £240,000 a week. You know, Bruno Fernandes has scored 49 goals in 118 games in all competitions. He's been a Man United player for over 2 years. Man United got him from Sporting Lisbon back in January 2020. We initially paid around £47 million. We got Jesse Lingard. He's not good enough to represent the club. Well, Lingard doesn't get in the team much anyway. Lingard has been part of the club for a long time, came up our academy and that. He'll leave Man United this summer. He should have left in January, but we blocked his exit. Lingard's out of contract in the summer. Don't forget the second half of last season he enjoyed a 4-month loan spell with West Ham and he made an impact. Juan Mata. He's had a good career at Manchester United. You know, Mata has enjoyed 8 years at Man United, so reflecting on that, he's been a long-serving player. Mata doesn't get in our team, no. He lost his place in the team a while ago. Mata will leave Man United this summer. He's out of contract in the summer. Man United got Mata from Chelsea back in 2014. Got him for £37.1 million. We've got the best player in the world overall in Cristiano Ronaldo. By the way, Rooney has backed Ronaldo to leave Man United this summer. He's also backed Pogba to leave Man United this summer. Ronaldo missed the 1-1 draw with Leicester. He was out with illness. Ronaldo did score a hat-trick in the 3-2 win against Tottenham. It was his first hat-trick since he re-signed for the club and he became the highest scorer in football history. Ronaldo has scored 18 goals in all competitions since he re-signed. He's got over 800 goals in his career. Man United re-signed Ronaldo last summer for 20 million with add-ons included. He wears a number 7 shirt. His contract at Man United expires next year. There's an option to extend for the further year. AS said earlier on this season that Ronaldo has no plans to leave Man United this summer. He's willing to see out the final year of his contract. Earlier on this season, Ronaldo held crunch talks with his agent George Mendes over his Man United future. Don't forget Ronaldo got named Player of the Month for March. March, of course, was last month. We've got Paul Pogba. He's a good player. He's not only a good player, he's an imperative player as well. Pogba's enjoyed good games since he recovered from injury. Earlier on this season, he was out with injury for a while. He's enjoyed quite a few injuries since he re-signed for the club, so you can say he's injury prone. There's a good chance that Pogba will be leaving Man United this summer. He's out of contract this summer. It recently said from the Manchester Evening News that PSG have made an offer to Paul Pogba. the Man United dressing room believe that Pogba has gone, and like I mentioned earlier, Rooney has backed Pogba to leave. A couple of Premier League clubs have been in for Pogba. Pogba's Man United's most expensive signing at the moment. Man United paid £89 million for him this season. Has been his 6th season at Man United since he re-signed. He's won 3 trophies at the club so far, and he's played over 200 games since he re-signed. We've got Fred. Fred, he's not good enough to represent the club. I don't think Man United will get rid of him this summer. I think Fred could leave next year. Fred has had his good games at United, especially under Rangnick. I thought Fred played very well in the 1-1 draw against Leicester not so long ago. Well, he scored Manchester United's equaliser. We got Fred a few years ago from Shakhtar Donetsk. Got him for £50 million. Fred has played a lot of games alongside McTominay in the centre midfield, and obviously they do not complement each other. We have got Scott McTominay. He's not good enough, even though he has had his good games, especially under Rangnick. McTominay, though, does he need time? He's still young, got a lot of development in him. He has been part of the club for a long time, McTominay, Revert back to 2020, he committed his future to the club because he signed a 5-year contract. Matic, he's not good enough, even though he has had his good games at United. He's not one of our first choice midfielders, but despite that, he's still being given his opportunities. And he's the only predominant centre defensive midfielder Man United have got at the moment. I've always had my reservations about Matic, always been a static midfielder, plus he's ageing up. I reckon he'll leave Man United this summer while he's out of contracts this summer. We got Matic from Chelsea back in 2017, got him for 40 million. He's been a Man United player for over 4 years now. Luke Shaw, a good left back overall. I think the best season he's enjoyed at Man United was last season. But this season, Luke Shaw has been poor. And he's out with injury at the moment. He had a few injuries earlier on this season. He's injury prone, which is a concern. Shaw's been at Manchester United for 8 years, so he has been a long-serving player. His contract expires next year. Not so long ago, Luke Shaw said he prefers playing for England than Man United. We've got Alex Telles. I think Telles is a good left back. He's appeared to be our first choice left back under Rangnick. He's been impressive under Rangnick. The reason Man United brought Telles in was to provide competition for Luke Shaw. We got Telles from Porto a couple of years ago. Got him in a deal worth 15.4 million. Do you think Telles will leave Man United this summer? Because he has been subjected to transfer speculation before. One of the centre-halves we've got is Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire, definitely not good enough to represent the club. There's a good chance he'll be leaving Man United this summer. The other week it said Harry Maguire's Man United future is in doubt. Is in doubt, yeah. Man United are prepared to sell Harry Maguire. The other week, Harry Maguire got booed for England. I'm surprised he's still Man United captain, A lot of United fans have been demanding for the captaincy to be taken off him, especially throughout the course of this season. But earlier on this season, Rangnick said Maguire will remain Man United captain till the end of the season. Man United certainly overpaid for Maguire, got him for 80 million. He's the most expensive centre-half in the world at the moment, and he's the second most expensive sign at the club. He's been at the club over 2 years, and he's had quite a few injuries since he came to the club, Maguire. Another one of the centre-halves we've got is Erik Bailly. Now, Erik Bailly is a good centre-half, but he doesn't really get in the team now, plus he's injury prone, which is a concern. I'm expecting Erik Bailly to leave Man United this summer. He should have left in January, shouldn't he? AC Milan were in for him in January this year. Man United got Bailly from Villarreal back in 2016. Man United paid 30 million. We brought him in under Jose Mourinho, and in April last year, Bailly signed a contract with Man United until 2024. Another one of the centre-halves we've got is Phil Jones. Now, Phil Jones obviously doesn't get in the team much. I'm expecting Jones to leave Man United this summer. Nearly left in January this year. This season has been Phil Jones' 11th season at the club. So he's been a long-serving player. He's been with us since the Ferguson era. He's the only outfield player that is still with us since the Ferguson era. Jones' contract expires next year. Another one of the centre-halves we've got is Victor Lindelof. Not good enough, but Lindelof, to be fair, has had his good games at United. Lindelof has had some off-field issues this season. Lindelof, is no longer one of our first-choice centre-halves, obviously because of the signing of Varane last summer. Lindelof, though, has played a lot of games alongside Maguire. He's played games alongside Varane. He's played games alongside Bailly. I think he's also played alongside Jones as well. Man United got Lindelof from Benfica back in 2017, got him for £31 million. Lindelof's under contract with Man United until 2024. And we've got Raphael Varane. He's a very good centre-half. Varane is regarded as one of the best centre-halves in the world. He's highly experienced and he's got a good pedigree behind him, because look at the amount of silverware he won when he was at Real Madrid. Most of the time when Varane plays for Man United, he seems to make the difference, but he has had his poor games. Don't forget, not so long ago, Varane had an injury scare for France. Varane's enjoyed quite a few injuries in his career. He's had quite a few injuries since he became a Man United player. Man United signed Varane from Real Madrid last summer. Man United paid 34 million up front. It rises up to like 41, 42 million with add-ons included, and Varane's got a contract with Man United until 2025. There's an option of a further year. We've got two right backs. Obviously our first choice right back is Diego Dalot. He's been our first choice right back since Rangnick came in, and to be fair, Dalot's been impressive under Rangnick. Do you think Dalot will leave Man United this summer though? Because Dalot has been subjected to transfer speculation before. Don't forget last season Dalot had a loan spell with AC Milan, so reflecting on that, again, some experience. And we got Dalot from Porto quite a few years ago. Man United paid around £19 million for him. His contract at Man United expires next year. And second choice right back is Wan-Bissaka. And I don't think Wan-Bissaka is good enough to represent the club. Good defensively, but the attacking side of his game is very, very poor. I think we could look to sell Wan-Bissaka this summer. Man United's first choice goalkeeper is De Gea. What a goalkeeper De Gea is. He's one of the best goalkeepers in the world, and De Gea has just been absolutely sensational this season. He really, really has. Don't forget, earlier on this year, he got named the Premier League's Player of the Month. That was for January, and earlier on this season, De Gea said, "I don't see myself away from Man United." Man United's second choice goalkeeper is Dean Henderson. He's a good goalkeeper. but doesn't really get in goal because De Gea's number one. Henderson's only made 3 appearances this season. Good chance Henderson will leave Man United this summer, and third choice goalkeeper is Tom Heaton. He doesn't get in there, does he? He's just a backup. Got him on a free transfer from Aston Villa last summer, and I think Lee Grant is still at the club, and he's our 4th choice goalkeeper. So there you go. And Mason Greenwood, he's obviously suspended by the club. But not so long ago, he was seen for the first time since, his arrest on the rape and all of that. I think he's returning to Man United, I heard. So anyway guys, on my next video, I'll be giving you my predicted 11 for Man United's game against Everton. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel if you do. Consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon. Thanks for watching.